Welcome to the Retirement Classroom. Today's strategy spotlight covers one of the most effective fixed income strategies for retirees, the bond ladder. If you're worried about interest rate risk, want predictable income, and don't want to lose money in bond funds during rate changes, a bond ladder may be the answer. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to build one, what to include, and how it fits into your overall retirement income plan. Let's start with the concept. A bond ladder is a portfolio of individual bonds or CDs that mature at regular intervals, typically every year. Imagine buying 5 bonds, one maturing in 1 year, one in 2 years, one in 3 years, one in 4 years, and one in 5 years. As each bond matures, you get your full principal back and reinvest it in a new 5-year bond at the far end of the ladder. This creates a self-renewing income stream that automatically adjusts to whatever interest rates are doing. Why is this better than a bond fund for many retirees? The fundamental advantage is certainty. When you buy an individual bond and hold it to maturity, you know exactly what you'll get back. Your full principal plus all the scheduled interest payments. There is zero price risk if you hold to maturity. A bond fund, on the other hand, never matures. The fund manager is constantly buying and selling bonds, which means the fund's value fluctuates with interest rates. In 2022, many retirees learned this the hard way when the Bloomberg Aggregate Bond Index lost over 13%. With a bond ladder, rising rates are actually beneficial in the medium term. As your shorter bonds mature, you reinvest at the new, higher rates. Within a few years, your entire ladder is earning higher yields. You get the benefit of rising rates without suffering price losses on your existing holdings. Let me walk you through how to build a bond ladder step by step. Step 1. Determine how much of your portfolio should be in fixed income. A common starting point for retirees is 40 to 50% in bonds, with the remainder in stocks. Your specific allocation depends on your age, risk tolerance, income needs, and other income sources like Social Security and pensions. Step 2. Choose your ladder duration. Most retirees benefit from a 5 to 10-year ladder. A 5-year ladder is simpler and provides more frequent reinvestment. A 10-year ladder captures higher yields on longer-term bonds but requires more patience. I generally recommend starting with a 5-year ladder and extending to 7 or 10 years once you're comfortable with the concept. Step 3, select your bond types. You have several options, each with different risk and return profiles. Treasury bonds are backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. They are the safest option with zero credit risk. Interest is exempt from state income tax, which is a bonus if you live in a high-tax state. The trade-off is slightly lower yields compared to corporate or municipal bonds. Agency bonds from entities like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac offer slightly higher yields than treasuries with very low credit risk. They are not explicitly backed by the government but have an implied guarantee. Corporate bonds offer higher yields but come with credit risk, meaning the company could default. For a bond ladder, stick to investment-grade corporate bonds rated BBB or higher. Avoid high-yield or junk bonds for this purpose. Municipal bonds offer tax-free interest for federal income tax purposes and often for state tax as well if you buy bonds from your home state. For retirees in higher tax brackets, the tax-equivalent yield of municipal bonds can be very attractive. CDs from FDIC-insured banks are another excellent choice for shorter rungs of your ladder, especially in today's high-rate environment where 5-year CDs can yield close to what 5-year treasuries pay, but with FDIC insurance up to $250,000. Step 4. Decide how much to allocate per rung. Divide your bond allocation equally across each year of the ladder. For example, with $200,000 in a 5-year ladder, invest approximately $40,000 in each maturity year. Step 5. Purchase your bonds. You can buy treasury bonds directly from Treasury Direct with no fees. For corporate and municipal bonds, use a brokerage account. Most brokerages like Fidelity, Schwab, and Vanguard have bond screeners that let you filter by credit rating, maturity date, yield, and issuer. Step 6. Maintain the ladder. When the 1-year bond matures, take the principal and buy a new bond at the longest rung of your ladder, in this case 5 years. This keeps the ladder rolling and automatically adjusts your portfolio to current interest rates. Let me talk about the income benefits. A well-constructed bond ladder provides reliable, predictable income. If your ladder has $200,000 invested across 5 years at an average yield of 4.5%, you're generating $9,000 per year in interest income plus $40,000 per year in maturing principal. You can use the interest for living expenses and reinvest the principal, or use both depending on your cash flow needs. Compare this to a bond fund paying the same yield. The fund generates similar interest income, but your principal fluctuates daily with the market. In a rising rate environment, you might see your $200,000 investment drop to $180,000, even though the underlying bonds would pay you back in full at maturity. This price volatility causes unnecessary anxiety and poor decision-making for many retirees. Now, let me address some common questions. Should you ladder with Treasury inflation-protected securities, also called TIPS? TIPS ladders are excellent for protecting against inflation. The principal adjusts with the CPI so your purchasing power is maintained. The trade-off is that TIPS yields are typically lower than nominal Treasury yields. A blended approach works well. Use nominal Treasuries for half your ladder and TIPS for the other half, giving you both higher current yield and inflation protection. What about callable bonds? Some corporate and agency bonds can be called, meaning the issuer can pay you back early, usually when rates drop. If your bond is called, you lose the higher yield and have to reinvest at lower current rates. For a bond ladder, prefer non-callable bonds when possible, or at least be aware of the call risk when selecting corporate issues. How does a bond ladder interact with your overall retirement income plan? Think of the ladder as your stable income foundation. Social Security plus your bond ladder interest provides your baseline income floor. Your stock portfolio provides growth to keep up with inflation over time. If the stock market drops significantly, you can defer selling stocks and instead use maturing bond principal for spending. This gives your stocks time to recover, essentially functioning like a built-in bucket strategy, but with more structure and predictability. Let me give you a concrete example to bring this all together. Sarah is 67 with a $900,000 portfolio. She allocates $450,000 to a bond ladder and $450,000 to a diversified stock index fund. She also receives $30,000 per year from Social Security. She needs $60,000 per year in spending money. Her bond ladder. She builds a 7-year ladder with approximately $64,000 per rung. She uses a mix of treasuries and investment-grade corporate bonds with an average yield of 4.3%. This generates about $19,000 per year in interest income. Combined with her $30,000 in Social Security, she has $49,000 of her $60,000 need covered by stable, predictable income. The remaining $11,000 comes from her stock portfolio. In a bad stock market year, she can simply spend one maturing bond rung worth $64,000 instead of selling stocks at a loss. This gives her over a year of spending buffer without touching equities. Meanwhile, she reinvests the proceeds from her other maturing bonds at the long end of the ladder. This approach gives Sarah predictable income, protection from both interest rate risk and sequence of returns risk, and the flexibility to avoid selling stocks during downturns. It's a complete retirement income solution built on a simple, systematic framework. If you found this strategy spotlight helpful, subscribe for more retirement income planning. And if you'd like help building a customized bond ladder for your portfolio, check the link in the description for a free consultation. Class dismissed.
Hey, before you go, if you're serious about your retirement, we'd love to help. Scan the QR code on screen right now or visit the link in the description to book a completely free strategy session with a qualified professional. It only takes a couple minutes to fill out, and there's absolutely no obligation. Take the first step today. We'll see you in the next one.